express that and explore that is because of how uh, dangerous and how like harmful homophobia is within male communities, right?
Yeah.
Like
Bruno
if
spaz
you
on
go
this
out and kiss a
motherfucker.
guy, you might get fucking jumped, right? Like if you kiss a guy on the street. Now this isn't to say it's
Yeah, because I know it gave you. I tell people when you go to these conventions, it gives you confirmation of how far you have grown in your career by
Yes.
taking fans, and also I'm pretty sure you had a bunch of the top talent that you haven't shot with say we seen your video.
Yes, yes. I've had people who come up to can make money off of it.
But see, the thing about it is, okay, let's just keep it 100. The girls nowadays don't give a fuck about the money; they want to go rob.
Well,
And
yeah, I
people
mean,
want it.
people want to go.
So it's kind of like the girl. A lot of the girls that don't show their face with the feet, it ain't because they make more money with the feet. Back to where you're not doing the content how you're shooting content, but you're not shooting with everybody that got their mama. Now it done kind of the circle done closed up a little bit to make yourself. Hello, smokers. Give me 1 second. I don't never had shit when I'm looking at Good God Almighty! Oh man, yeah, it's been that kind of a day, smoker. What's going on, Miss Lady?
Oh my gosh! First, I was the scattered one. Now you're the scattered one. That's
Oh yeah,
great.
it's like no, I make sure to try and make sure everything that I need is right there. But then I forget something. That's when the show come on. But like
Of course.
they used to be
Well,
walking off and
well, I was
everything.
having technical difficulties with. I have like multiple microphones, multiple cameras. I ended up just throwing the headphones on and we're going with it.
Okay.
So
You sound like you about to do you start a podcast yourself. You said multiple
I
microphones.
am. Yeah, I'm actually in the studio space. I got a lease on a studio space and I just literally got back from like 3 continuous months of travel and I fly out again tomorrow. So I'm trying to like put together the studio in between all of my traveling, but I am physically in the studio right now and just kind of a mock-up area, but I've got to get the furniture in, I've got to get all the equipment set up and so on. So there's like boxes and lighting and backdrops and stuff everywhere, but it's a pretty huge space. It's got like 3 separate dedicated rooms. So I'm going to have a podcast room for my podcast or any podcaster that wants to lease the space. They can come in and use that
Oh,
space. I'm also going to have a camming and filming room. So I can not only do my own filming on a professional set, but I can have people come in and collab with me or do their own scenes. And then I also have the main area outside this door is a huge photography studio. And I already have an in-resident photographer already doing photo shoots. So like we're like in the first stages of the launch. So by my 56th birthday next month, I want this full speed ahead.
damn. That's a lot to take in.
How you doing?
God, shit, I might need to hit the blunt now.
But
Oh,
yeah, I'm super excited. I'm literally using the space I intended it for. It's just not set up yet, and that's why I was having technical difficulties. I know how to do all of this. I just didn't have like the desk in here, and I didn't have, all my cords and
okay,
so
I got to
fuck
ask
it.
this.
We're going with Bose headphones today.
I got to ask this, right? Because other than game bangs becoming popular, a lot of porn stars, talent, content, whatever, are now starting to go into the podcast space.
Mhm.
Why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. The more of us, the better. But because I'm sorry, I mean, me personally, we need our own genre because we're
Mhm.
stuck in the sexuality genre. So I'm sitting here competing against sex therapists, decisions. And none of these
So,
fuckers talk about what we talk about. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Actually, we consider it health and wellness.
Speaking for myself, I'm about sex positivity, body positivity, age positivity, kink positivity. Like I really, really, really put myself out there in the media a lot to kind of shatter society's expectations. But what's happened is, and I've seen this with other people in sex work in general, is that there are people who have questions and curiosities and they're fascinated by our lifestyle. So, like, when I go on, as long as I can keep it within community standards, I back during COVID, I was talking about, spicy stuff on TikTok, and I would often get popped on it, but those are the ones that went viral. People want to see, this granny with a fanny dancing in her kitchen, like, and I think it has evolved from just making content and reels and TikToks and so on to having actual conversations, much like we're doing here. Now, our conversations are going to be a lot different than, say, the podcast I'm going to do, because I'm going to sit down and talk with maybe other sex workers that don't film. So you're talking to sex workers who film, such as myself, people who have been in the industry, who can talk about the industry. I'm going to talk about sex work in a more broader sense and talk about, the decriminalization. And there's the advocate that's always been in me. I used to be an advocate in DC, been a guest at the White House. Like I'm always championing for the little guy. Well, who more stigmatized and criminalized than sex workers? And if we remove the mystery of what we do and why we do it, and that we're not really that threat to society, we're actually doing society a favor, we need to have those conversations. So, speaking for myself, that's what's driving me to do a podcast, not just, any podcast, but to have like a dedicated commercial space where other podcasters can also podcast. And I can bring guests in, or we could do it, from halfway across the world digitally, like we're doing today.
Well, with that being said, welcome, smokers.
Hi.
Time to smoke
Good to
these
be
over.
back.
Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. I am Kevin Harper, Southern Champ. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn-rap-star. I'm about to go through these sponsors real quick because I got a lot to do tonight.
Okay.
First off, eroticismmagazine.com. Next up, blusherotica.com. After that, we have Past That Apparel. Check out their t-shirts on tpublic.com. Link in the description. Also, please check out the king of THCA. I'm talking about Smoke Kind. Use my referral link to check out their discounts and get that stuff mailed to your door. And last but not least, Sarah J. CBD, self-care and pain relief. Please use promo code BOBBIE to get 10% off your next order for sarahjcbd.com. Also, find me 5 days out the week in the mornings at fullswatradio.com, as well as sgpradio.com, as well as skyhoafterdarktv.com. Y'all seen those sexy eyes, and you seen the tits and the ass.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You seen him in the premium smoke room. You done seen her interview on the Smokers Lounge. And trust me, she'll be back to the premium smoke room. Actually, next time I bring her back, it's going to be a VIP smoke room. So y'all can ask her questions. So she's a gorgeous, sexy, beautiful gift that looks like a MILF. I'm talking about none other than Torrey Lisa. What's going on, baby?
Hi, everyone. So good to be back. And I want to give a big shout out to some of your sponsors. I've worked with Blush Erotica. I love them. Skyhawk, After Dark, Full Swap Radio. Like, you've got some great sponsors. So big shout out to all the sponsors. And all the viewers. Like, it is an honor and a privilege to be able to come back. You get to see casual, everyday Torrey today. This is me just moving through normal everyday life, getting ready to hop on a plane tomorrow. I got my suitcases everywhere. I'm, zigging and zagging from home to the studio and stuff. So yeah, this is not full glam Torrey. This is everyday Torrey. So you've gotten to see me unclothed.
Yeah, I will see it again.
You've gotten to see me glammed up. I figured today we're just going to go casual
and regular looks just as good as the glammed up. To be honest with you.
I still got the titties and everything. It's all there.
Oh my God. But to me, there's too many podcasts that are ran that talks about sex workers. They're not ran by sex workers.
Yes.
and they don't talk about only one really, but even to that, she really don't. She gets into it. I think she must have been a sex worker at one point. Only for Fans, Angel White. I love her to death.
Mm-hmm.
But we need more of us in the space to talk to more of us. Because I think when you have people that never done it or been in it, try to talk to people that in it, they don't know the right questions, the right conversations.
True. And they also don't know what they don't know. I cannot tell you, every day I get some guy saying, hey, you can use me for filming. Well, it doesn't exactly work that way. You know, there's a lot of research that you have to do and information that you need to know. Like if you don't know what a Form 2257 is and you're not willing, you've never tested before in your life. I recently had a really bad situation happen. A content creator in my state, I had fun with him in the past. I'll leave it at that. And he was like, well, I'd love to film with you sometime. And I was like, okay, we can talk about that. And so he approached me. Now, mind you, the fun that I had with him was fully protected because we weren't filming. We weren't, like I am off camera. I am all about safety. Okay. I'm the safety girl. So I don't even take any risks off camera because I will not put my career at risk for anyone at all. So anyway, he was like, well, what about filming someday? And I said, okay, cool. Let's talk about testing. He's like, okay, well, I had tests done 6 weeks ago. Would that work? I'm like, excuse me? And he was like, well, would those still be good for you? And I was like, absolutely not. Like we need to test the same week and film the same week. Like we need to follow the same industry standards because, and it was also right when they had that production shutdown recently, right after the last event down in Miami after XBiz, they had that production hold, right? So he's having this.
Was ready. That was news to me. Ain't no one saying shit to me about that damn production hold.
Really? Oh my gosh. I found out about it through Twitter. And and through other creators and performers and so on. It was big news, at least in my circles. But anyway, I told him, I said, hey buddy, I'm not sure who you've worked with before that would accept 6-week hold tests, but that's not industry standard. And in fact, we're in a production hold right now. We couldn't film even if we wanted to. Ethically speaking, production holds mean worldwide, you stop all filming. And I told him, once the production hold ends, we can both go and get tested. He goes, well, what if we just do a bareback blowjob? Like that's somehow an exception to the rule.
See,
it's like
people, it was funny, right? Because, like I said, I tweet shit, right, just to start conversation. Yeah. And there's certain things that I feel in this lifetime why, as much as I love the content creation era, I hate it at the same time.
It has its underbelly. It has its pros and cons. I told him, I was like, you know what? I can't work with you because you don't know the first thing about STD transmissions. You don't know the first thing about what production holds actually mean. You don't know the first thing about, the full panel testing. Like, don't give me 6-week-old partial tests and then say, oh, well, then let's just film a bareback blowjob and think that that's okay.
Because content creators are not held as much as they're not held or hold themselves
correct
to the same standard. Because this is the reason why I said, okay, yes, I don't have an issue. Let me clear this up because people got it wrong. I have no issue with solo content creators. I have no issue with couple porn. But I hate it for this one reason. Y'all get an easy goddamn pass. Y'all ain't got to worry about testing.
Right.
And you ain't got to worry about testing. You ain't got Y'all ain't got to go through the same shit.
Actually, they do need to worry about testing unless they're fully 100% solo.
Yeah, but no.
Unless,
They don't worry about it because unless they level up, they don't worry about it. You feel what I'm saying? Unless they personally want to worry about it. You feel what I'm coming from? You know, period. And the reason why I say that is because part of it's something like Mrs. Stone said, we get tested to go raw because in the eyes of our industry, it ain't professional unless it's raw. Does condom scenes sell? Yeah. But let me tell you this, that blowjob better be raw. That blowjob better be, so you still got to be tested regardless.
And here's the thing. I have done condom content. I have, because we wanted to film. There was no regulated testing. Like, testing was outdated. It's like, okay, well, in that case, it's going to be condom. And it sells. It's not preferred. It's not a bestseller by any stretch of the imagination. But we were able to do content.
Say it again. It is not a bestseller.
Not a bestseller. It sells.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean,
it's not a bestseller.
Because, like I said, I did 10 years with condom. But the difference with what a lot of people understand is the blowjob was raw. The condom sex was, the vaginal sex was covered. We were both tested, but the reason why I did the vaginal low key, the girls was escorting. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, listen, being a sex worker, a full service sex worker, that is going to be where you're going to pick something up, is with a bare blowjob. That's why we have throat swabs in our testing. That's why we have anal swabs. There is no bypassing the transmission of STDs with any fluid exchange.
Because let's keep it 100. Girls do trick at the conventions and shoot in the same day.
Yep. And that's why outside of filming, I am 100% safe girl. There will be full protection. There are no exceptions, no bareback blowjob without testing. It's just not going to happen. And unfortunately, and we've talked about this before, people see my videos, they want to spend time with me. And as a legally licensed sex worker and, full service sex worker, I get it a lot. They approach me and they say, oh, well, I just thought that you didn't use condoms because that's what's happening on camera. I was like, that's because it's happening on camera.
Yeah, actually, that's a consistent thought. It's like I said, there's so many misconceptions. That's one of the biggest ones because it's the reason why you had the girlfriend experience and the porn star experience. Both of them considered raw. And go ahead.
I'm going to jump in on this. It depends on the region. The girlfriend experience, depending on the region. Yeah. The girlfriend experience, at least the way I trained the girls when I was a madam and trainer back in Nevada, the girlfriend experience in legal brothels is offering kissing.
Yeah.
Because in the brothel, so
you're coming from the legal process.
Right.
No. I'm talking
also,
Backpage Craigslist.
Right. I also know that side of the industry too.
Yeah.
And certain regions, Pacific Northwest and so on, a GFE is without condoms.
Yeah.
But in the Midwest, it's a little different. Like, they have a different understanding of what GFE even means. Okay. So regionally, GFE has a different definition. It is not a universal term. It is used differently. And it's different from provider to provider. So what my GFE would be different than another sex worker's GFE.
Yeah.
Because a GFE may be more kissing, cuddling, and more of like a fantasy, Netflix and chill girlfriend dates. Whereas somebody else's GFE is letting them go down on her unprotected. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's different definitions for GFE, but PSA is a pretty universal definition.
Yeah, pretty much. But see, the thing about it is like, I laugh. It's funny because I love when I see girls post no meetups, right? That tells me
Mhm.
that why do people from your because you're on both sides. I know the answer to the search tip, but I want to hear from her. Why do they automatically assume that a porn star is an escort?
I
But
know.
hold on. But not necessarily assuming escorts a porn star.
So here's an interesting, there's two sides to that coin. Okay. The only reason why I got into full service sex work is because I got so many requests as a porn star to have time with me and wanted to know what my rates were. I did not set out to become a full service sex worker. I was a porn star for many years. And finally, I was so exhausted by all of these guys coming forward and saying, hey, how much are you to have time with you?
Yeah.
Or the other side of that coin that I'm telling you about is, hey, I want to film with you. In other words, they wanted to fuck for free.
Yeah.
Under the
Yeah.
guise of
And
having the
that came,
camera on.
hold on, people. That came into existence when OnlyFans came. Very strong.
So,
Very strong.
so it's funny because the first time somebody asked me, I was like, I don't do that. I do not.
But
I
see,
do not.
I'm gonna tell you
I
what's
was like,
funny. I laugh when girls act surprised when that gets asked. Because let's keep it 100. When you go see Beyonce, you going, you know it because of her music.
right,
You're not gonna think full service with Beyonce. No, when you meet her, you're gonna get an autograph, you might take
right.
a picture, you can tell her how much you love her. This is porn stars. I watched you goggle a dick.
Yes. And so this is why it's funny. I look back at this and I think it's hilarious and hysterical that the first time somebody asked, I was like low key offended. I was like, and then I realized that, okay, I'm going to get approached to replicate what I'm doing on film. That is going to be a natural segue into conversations online. I get it. I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, what? What had happened? But what's funny is I was like, I don't do that, but why can't I do that? What would it take for me to do that? I've never done that. I was married for 26 years and I never cheated on my ex, like I did not go outside my marriage. Now, by then, when I was being asked in filming and so on, I was polyamorous, multi-partnered, and so on. So I knew being multi-partnered put me at a higher risk for transmitting something. And I was already getting tested every 6 weeks in my polyamorous dynamics. So, like, my partner would test every 6 weeks and I would test every 6 weeks. So, technically, we were each alternating every 3 weeks on our testing. So, I was already testing. And then when I got into porn, I was like, okay, every 1 to 2 weeks, I can handle that. But then I was like, all right, now I'm getting approached to do full service sex work. I mean, a threesome is a typical Tuesday for me in my everyday life. Why can't I do that? So I decided, all right, then I'm going to go legit. I'm going to go to Nevada where it's legal and so on. But I didn't think I'd get hired. I ended up getting hired. I ended up working at 3 different brothels. I did really, really well out there. Now I like to travel more and so on. But
And see,
I,
too, also, I always say how you start is how it ends, right? Or how it should stay. Especially with your pricing, because you ain't, how can I put this? They saw you at the brothel. So 9 out of 10, you already set a precedent of what they're going to get and the price they're going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And versus if it was a girl that just did, they say we're doing OnlyFans and you're posting on Trist and Mega Person. I'm just saying, I just know these things, okay? It's you have to do the
okay.
pricing.
Yeah.
Because of
Pricing does vary.
Yeah.
So regionally, pricing varies. Outside of, okay, I am 4 to 5 times more expensive in Las Vegas than I am in Omaha, Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to spend time with me, because really what you're doing is buying my time and attention.
Yeah.
What we do as consenting adults is completely different conversation.
Hold on. I want you to stay someplace. Hold on. We're going to put a pin in this. We're going to stay right here.
Yeah.
You're willing to adjust your price for the
Correct.
location.
Correct. Because I don't have the same overhead
Now, I
as I
done
do in
seen
Nevada.
girls, hold on. I done seen girls that were dead set against it, and I seen it backfire. Explain why it is good to adjust your pricing to where you're at. Because I had this conversation with girls before, and I'm not going to do that. I'm like, you can't charge what you charge New York and Atlanta. It ain't the same.
Okay. I do not mean to offend anybody who is in the industry that watches this, but I'm going to approach this as a businesswoman and not a woman who ties a number to her self-worth. Okay. If I charged what I charge in Vegas or in Nevada, which is multiple four figures an hour,
Yeah.
and I consistently got that, okay, make no mistake, I would not have survived for 3 years out there and been pulled and, and done more, as much as I have done out there. And I could go out there next week if I want to, okay? But I don't like working 12, 14, 18-hour days, 7 days a week. I like to travel. I like to, and whatever, okay? So outside of Nevada, my pricing is different, not just across the board, but by the region. So it may differ from region to region based on my overhead. It is way more expensive in Nevada because you're buying into the privilege of being in a legal establishment. I have to give 50% to the house. I have to pay for my own testing. I have to pay for my own supplies. I have to pay for, all my outfits and my shoes and my lingerie and my stockings and decorate my room and blah, blah, blah. But when I'm traveling, I have hotel costs. I have, transportation costs. I have, I'm eating out as opposed to having access to a kitchen. Now I do travel with the ability to book a room that has a full kitchen and so on. Like I can still cook on the road, but I prefer not to. That's how I keep my curves. All that, those cheeseburgers on the road, man. Those nice steaks. But the thing is I have to look at all of my costs, whether I'm traveling and touring, whether I am in a brothel or whatever. So if I assign a number to my ego and my self-esteem, I am going to effectively crush my ego and so on if you don't lower and adjust depending on where you are and what your actual overhead is. I'm going to throw out numbers real quick, a quick example. Okay, so an overnight with me is a 12-hour excursion.
Yeah.
It is multiple four figures. But let's say, just for the sake of even numbers and simplicity, let's say I offer an overnight for $1,000. I run a special. I'm like, I am flash sailing my overnights, right? And my goal is to make $10,000 in a month. Okay. All I have to do is get 10 overnights and I'm done working for the month.
Yeah, actually.
And overnights involve 7 to 8 hours of actual sleep. So how much am I actually working and still hitting my 5-figure per month income goal? Now, if my rate for an overnight was $10,000, technically, I only need one overnight, right? But what do you think the odds are that I'm going to even get one booking at that rate versus 10 bookings at the other rate?
See, that I know, like, if you were back in the day when I was running, you would have made a killing. Because I sit there and watch girls. Because especially when Backpage and Craigslist was popping, see, women, no disrespect, y'all fuck up the business. Let me explain to you why y'all do it. Because y'all undercut yourselves so bad.
Yes.
Just to, and I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? Because the biggest talking point and the joke was if a girl did 15 minutes for $40, right? You saw her face. You saw, yes, that was a thing.
I did
$40
minimum.
You feel me?
40.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Keep going.
Hold on. Let me tell you how this came about, right? At the time, Quick's visits, especially in North Carolina, was 60. Okay. that we talking about back in the day. We talk about
That is true. That is
2013,
true.
right?
Okay.
Now it done went back to the original days of what it is. God damn it. No. Quick business, you spending about a yard with you. That 15 minutes a little expensive. But anyway, but to be honest with you, 15 minutes, if you do your job, he gonna be in and out. He gonna be in and out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But now, not defending the quick visit. I'm just saying.
Right.
Okay. I had a girl that came into town that we was filming. I'm not gonna say who it is. She know who it is. She came up with the idea to charge 40 for the blowjob because she was known for her blowjob.
Right.
And trust me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if they want the pussy, she charged 20 or maybe 30 or more.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest mistake she made was putting the ad 40. So guess what all the girls thought?
Yeah, that she was doing full service for 40.
Guess what all the Johns thought?
She was doing full service for
I
40.
never forget Tisha. Who the fuck is charging 40? Why they keep asking me how I charge 40? I said.
So to keep things above board, seasoned people like myself know that outside of the establishments that I've been licensed in, all you can do is charge for your time. You cannot charge for activities. That's what makes it illegal. So when somebody approaches me and asks for something specific, they've already disqualified from themselves from my consideration. I do have ads out there, and I say, ask for menu items only. And I have increments. Now I'm known as a no rush girl. I'm the girl that will linger and savor and do multi-day bookings and overnights and so on. I'm not I don't even offer QV. QV is just, no offense. I know that some people need an entry-level introduction with each other, but I'm not the smash and dash girl either.
Hold on, let's be honest.
No offense.
You are a porn star.
Correct.
In my opinion, there should not be anything lower than an hour.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
It shouldn't be nothing lower than an hour, in my opinion. You feel
Correct.
me? And
that's
two,
what I'm
also,
saying.
I think
the girls that are doing the QVs at lower rates are making more money than me potentially, but they are also wearing themselves out. I'm about self-care. I'm about protecting the pussy. I am about making sure that at the end of the day, I am not run through solid. I saw girls who took $200 bookings at the brothels. That was the minimum for any booking. It's called a house minimum. Okay. Yeah. Each house has different minimums. Yeah. One particular, the first house I was at had a $200 minimum. And they were known, and it, please don't take it derogatory. But they were known as the $200 girls. They got them in, they got them out. They were like
they were the quick visit girls. They were the women.
And I was like, this girl just ran through 30 people today, and she made a hell of a lot of money, but she's fucking toast. I don't want that.
But see, that's the thing about it. Also, no disrespect. Not every girl is worth that 1,000. And let me explain. Right. I'm gonna give y'all the perfect example. I know this story for certain. You know, on these sites, you got to put your picture.
Yeah.
Client walks up, opens the door. She's not made up. She's just in a towel. He turned around and left.
Right, exactly. And I have reviews. Okay. Yeah. I have reviews. And I have a
still do reviews.
Yes. I have all 10-star reviews. One of them said, 11 out of 10 stars. Like my client base, they approach me.
And let's keep it real. Hold on. I'm gonna let you talk. They just don't check the stars. No.
No, they
write dissertations about the experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, the site that my reviews are on, you do have to code word things, and so on. Yeah. But here's the thing. here's the thing. My client retention rate, whether it's in Nevada or outside of Nevada, is exceptionally high because I give a world-class experience.
Mhm.
When they arrive, they are catered to every detail. Okay, I'm not answering in a towel. I am full, full
Yeah.
glam, full everything. They get a top-notch luxury experience. I do not stay in crappy hotels. I stay in high-end places. Like
Mhm.
that is how I branded myself. It doesn't make me better, it makes me different. I want to make everybody
Yeah.
know there is nothing wrong with the Super 8 girls, the $200 QV girl. There's nothing
Well,
wrong with
I
that.
mean, but you got
They
to
are
think
making
about
more than me. They're making
you
more
got
than
to
me,
think
but I
about
am
your
I'm here for the
image. You feel where I'm coming
experience.
from? It's
Right.
your image. It's
Right.
like this, for example. If I saw Air Force Amy at a Red Roof Inn, I would question the shit.
Right, exactly. Okay, so you do get what you pay for. You get your full amount of time plus like I'm super generous. If somebody books time with me, I'm not a clock watcher.
Yeah.
I don't have people stacked on top of each other throughout the
Right.
day. I will see one gentleman for a dinner date, go back to my place, got a nice hotel, we've got champagne. That is the typical date with me. Now, yes, you're going to get the safe girlfriend experience. You're going to
Yeah.
get the safe porn star experience,
Yeah.
unless you've tested and done all the other
Yeah.
hoops that we go through in that side of the industry. But the thing is you're going to get, and I have had guys tell me
Yeah.
this, the feedback I get from my regulars, they will say that was the best blowjob I ever had, and I've never had one with a condom on. They will tell because they've had mediocre ones their whole
Yeah.
life, okay?
Yeah.
But when they are with someone who genuinely fucking loves blowjobs, like my point here is I am there just as much as they are for the experience.
Mhm.
I don't want to be in some crappy hotel going, ew, I don't want to touch the surfaces. I
Yeah.
want to have fine linen sheets and room service and so on. I am there having just as much fun as they are. And I think my client retention rate really speaks for itself because like when I was at the brothel, I had this one guy, he would come to see
Yeah.
me every 2 weeks faithfully, every 2 weeks like clockwork. Well, he
Mhm.
came into some money. He came in and booked me 8 days in a row. And I was like, his name was Steven. I was like, Steven, why didn't you see some of the other girls? He was like, because you're the only one that gets me. You're the only one that can do the things you do. You're the only one. You're the only, like, and so there's a term called hobbyists,
Mhm.
guys who like to have variety and they will see multiple girls and a variety of girls. I've had hobbyists say, you're my all-time favorite or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's an honor. And I'm not trying to like undercut anybody.
Yeah.
I am more expensive than the other
Now, I would
girls.
tell you what's
They'll
funny,
tell me, they're
right?
like, you're undercharging. I've been told this so many times. They'll say, you're worth way more. Like they're in the throes of what just happened.
And
And
no,
you're
I
like,
would tell you what's
holy
funny. People don't realize in every area there is a professional trick that sees them all.
yeah. And
And
I have,
trust me. I would tell you what's funny. You probably have seen some that paid less but paid up right though. Boy, if the girls knew, they'd be mad as hell.
but see, this is where at the end, everybody gets paid, they all pay the same depending on the region I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. If they're that happy, they can tip me. And I have made 100% tips. They'll pay me double at the end of the date just to say, whoa, that was wild, or that was amazing, or oh my gosh, I've never met anybody like you. And I recently met with a gentleman who it was absolutely no intercourse whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a session that was kink and fetish geared. Okay. There was no penetration. There was, and of course I tied him up. I blindfolded him. I mind fucked him so good. And he was just like, holy shit. Now he'd been with other DOMs.
Mhm.
He had been in those, situations and scenes before. And he said, I will see nobody but you ever. Like, So I get the feedback. Okay. Does that make me the best in the industry? No, it just means that my clients are the right clients for me because this is the type of experience that I offer and that they can count on. They know that their safety is going to be of most importance, that I'm not going to pass an STD on to them, that I'm not going to bend the rules to make an extra $100 to upsell some dude. I'm not high pressure. I'm no rush. I'm a luxury experience that we get to linger and savor, and I don't have to rush them out the door because I've got somebody coming right after them. Like, that's not me.
Oh man.
I am there to enjoy it just as much as they are, and we are going to enjoy it, trust me. I recently met with a 28-year-old. He's never made a woman squirt before. He
Oh
wanted
shit.
to learn. I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of like guidance and empowering them to be able to go out into the world to feel confident in bed. That's a big element of what I do is teach. Okay, we're going to have an anatomy class today. Let me explain what you need to know and how all the mechanisms work and how they work, in concert with each other and to do this and that and multitask and whatever. Like, I teach them how to up their bedroom game.
Mm.
And so this 28-year-old, he was like, yeah, my girlfriend, she was on the mature side. That's my thing. It's like why I picked you. He was like, she did not like him going down on her. And he was like, I don't know if I sucked at it. I don't know if she, like, he was just like, I don't understand. She would never let me finish. And I was like, let me teach you something. And so he had his first ever experience of like, holy crap. And he was like, he says, he told me he was so cute.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
great. He
But
was
no,
just,
but to
he
keep
told me,
it.
he was like, you got violent there for a second. I said, that's because it was a really explosive orgasm. Have you never seen a woman explode before? Like, it was like ahas for me too. Like, I know he knew how to make a woman come in certain ways, but not that way. And then come to find out, he'd never been with a woman who had a very explosive And he was just like, he was like, you came up off that bed, you levitated. I was like, exactly. Like, because you listened to what I told you. I know my body. You listen to the guidance. Every woman's body is different. This is how you read a woman's body because it's going to vary from woman to woman. So I do a lot of teaching and empowerment and giving them hints and tips and tricks on how to take it out into the real world so that they can have their A game when they get in the bedroom with another woman. So they come back and see me again. They're like, I'm ready for lesson number 2.
Hey, I guess it's money well spent. Now, let's get to your podcast because
Yes.
I love pod mommies.
Oh, I've never heard that term before. I'm a
That's
pod
why I call
mommy.
all the ladies pod mommies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm going to add that
For
to my
you, because you
resume.
say that you also your stuff gonna be centered around the other side of the game. I call it the other side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is the service side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that includes camming, that includes sexting, phone sex, anything that you got to give them service in your time, not a video.
Correct.
So for you, what's the one thing you want the world, the listeners, to understand and learn, smoke over when they hear you, when they leave your podcast, when they leave an episode?
Ooh, I think I want people to get comfortable talking about sex. I want to normalize kinks. I want to normalize, like, we're taught that kinks and fetishes are dirty or wrong or weird or whatever. I want to be able to talk about the time I fucked a clown in full costume or the time that I, pegged a cop and was legally paid for it. I want to talk about my adventures and the things that I have legitimately done in my life and to say these are normal everyday people. They are doctors and lawyers and teachers and grocery store clerks and therapists. Like, one of my kinkiest clients is a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I have multiple therapists on the kink spectrum in my wheelhouse.
Wait, I mean, a therapist need a therapist. I'm just saying.
Right. So my thing is to normalize the conversation. Yes, there's a sensational side of it. Okay. People are like, you did what?
Yeah.
Like, what? You got paid how much? What? You know, like there's shock and awe. I am not there to sensationalize it necessarily, but to tell the real stories of how, like, I had to wrap my head around, how am I going to fuck a stranger within 5 minutes of meeting him? How am I going to navigate that? Because I'm a demisexual. I need connection, you know, like how I went through those different elements of my own sexual growth and moving through the industry itself. I know when I was at one point a madam, there was a girl that was undercutting all the other girls. And that's her legal right. She gets to set her own rates. She gets to run her business because she's an independent contractor. But she was shortchanging herself. And I had to say, listen, you've got a whole big gap between what I charge and what you're charging. And you can charge that, but you can charge more and make more and work less for the same amount of money. Like you have to like play with your pricing a little bit. I was teaching her to test it. Bring your price up by another $400 or whatever, and see if that affects whether you get.
The biggest mistake women make, whether it's porn, escorting, they treat it as a hustle, not as a business opportunity.
Yes. And that's the other side of it is I am a businesswoman. I've been a successful businesswoman. I've been running my own businesses since 1999. The first business I ran, within a year and a half of opening that business, I was in Entrepreneur magazine. It was a division of Entrepreneur magazine called Business Startups. And they featured me for how well and fast I grew this business, that my first ever business. And I've run different businesses through my life. And I think that's why I was so good at training girls on how to monetize, how to hold boundaries in the bedroom, how to, be able to be assertive without being an asshole. How to finesse things and how to steer people to kind of do the things you want to do versus how they want to do it. Like if overcoming their objections and being able to get them to come back and see you again, because your regulars are your bread and butter. Like I am the business side of it. How can you be profitable and pleasurable all at the same time? And many people get into it for survival work, and God bless each and every woman that steps in, or human that steps into survival sex work space. I am not knocking it, but when you get into it, if you shift it a little bit in certain areas, it becomes this thing that's no longer a survival thing. It's a holy shit, I'm running my own business thing. And I get to call my own shots and so on. There are men out there that will exploit those that are desperate. And I teach them how to be self-confident and to be assertive, but yet still be, that perfect girlfriend scenario kind of thing. So podcasting for me is about normalizing the conversation, but also about showing the logistics behind the business, whether it's being a porn star and so on. For me, I'm a long game girl. A lot of girls get paid up front for a scene. I have been paid up front for scenes, but I had no distribution rights to that scene. It became, ownership of someone else that paid me, and that's fine. But I'm a long game girl. I want to make money on that same video for the next 20 years. I want distribution rights. So I'm willing to not get paid up front as long as I have distribution rights. So when you're talking about the whole hustle thing, they're looking at the immediate. How much can I get right now? I teach people about, but what about the lifetime of that client that he's seeing you every 2 weeks for the next 5 years?
Look, I'm going to tell you, back in the day, the thought process, girls girls did porn to boost the escorting.
Right.
So whether they now the sad part about this generation, well, the good part about this generation versus the generation I came in, way easier to get content because them girls didn't feel like going through the trouble getting content. But the ones that did, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
The escorting can make new subscribers. Vice versa, the subscribers can become clients. You feel what I'm saying? So
I do, because I know how it all intertwines.
Yeah.
If they don't book me, they're subscribed to me. If they're subscribed to me, they may want to book with me.
And hold on. And I'm gonna tell you the simplest thing that John told me this. She's verified.
Yes. Yes.
You know how many times I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Look, you think I ain't real? Go to such.com. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. In fact, the fact that I have to be ID verified. See, I use my real legal name in porn. I use my real legal name as a stage name on my my brothel licenses.
Yeah.
Has this, it's the same name. And so the thing is when people go to my social media, first of all, many guys, they look at the pictures, they don't read the ad, they call the number and they want immediate whatever. Okay.
Yes,
and there are girls
read the ad. No, it's funny. I had a conversation. I used to have conversations about that. I was like, no, let me tell you what they do. They look at the picture and look for the number.
Correct.
That's it.
Exactly.
They look at the title. The title
is universal. It is universal. But in my ad, because they didn't read it, they didn't see the part where I vet and verify people before I will see them. I don't do blind dates ever. Okay. But in my ad, I also say, you can verify me. I'm the real deal. Here's how. Look for the blue check mark on my social media, on my Instagram. I have to show a legal ID that matches the name on my account in order to get that blue check mark. I'm not a scammer. See, what happens is the guys, they see the pictures, they see the number, and they land in the lap of a scammer who said, well, I need a deposit before I can see you. And then they take off with a deposit. So then these guys, because they didn't do their due diligence, now have I will never pay anybody a deposit policy. Well, I don't see people without a deposit. So in order to get on my schedule, in order to film with me, in order to do whatever, you have to pay a deposit because I'm holding aside time for you. That is how you lock in on my schedule. And they say, I never do deposits. I got ripped off before. And that's because they didn't do their homework. And I say, listen, I understand you've been scammed before, and that's unfortunate. But if you go and do your homework on me, you'll find I'm the real deal. In fact, I have a freaking TikTok about how I gave a guy back a $1,000 deposit, no questions asked. Like with receipts, like proof that I will give you your fucking money back, right? But you have to go down those rabbit holes and research a girl to verify that they are the real deal and they are who they say they are, because I've had people steal my pictures and try to impersonate me. So I tell them, make sure the number that you're calling is the same number that's on my contact thing on Instagram, because you have the choice of emailing or texting me on the contact button on Instagram. If that number doesn't match, that's not me.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So you do have to do your homework. I do my homework on you. You do your homework on me. Please do your homework on me. Go look at my reviews. Go, cross-reference things. Make sure the phone number matches on the ad with what I have out on social media. My Twitter has my phone number. It's a text-only phone number. I don't take phone calls. The fucking 3 a.m. phone calls just piss me off. Okay. Do not mess with my beauty sleep. I'm not a robot that's open 24/7, 365. You have to plan ahead to get on my schedule. So what you're talking about, you're right. The guys, they skim through and then they end up with a scammer.
Yeah, actually.
All the time. Every day on different, hobby forums and stuff. It's like, well, I got scammed. Okay, well, did you verify her? Did you look at her reviews? Did you see the alerts about her? on this website? Did you see? Like, did you go and dig to make sure that you are working with somebody legitimate? And so when you said, John told you, it's because she's verified.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
You know, girls can catfish on social media. Okay.
Damn sure can.
What we're recording right now, there is no filter. There is no, you know, there's lighting, there's angles, whatever, but there's no filter on me. I have a little bit of a puffy eye today. Okay. Like you get to see real Torrey. All right. If you're watching this, you're like, okay, this is what I can expect when I show up. At least, you know, physical first appearances. When things come off and so on, you're going to get to see even more. But the point here is you're also going to get to see my skill sets, and you're going to see my enthusiasm, and you're going to see how I take pride in my work and stuff. And you can't do that until you get your foot in the door. So do your homework on me. Go look at my pictures. Go look at my films. You can't filter films with, you know, with your legs open and stuff. Like go watch the videos, and if that turns you on, then let's have fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's scammers out there, there's catfishing, there's all kinds of stuff. For me, I'm like, this is me. I've got stretch marks. I've got, you know, I got some yams on me. I've got, you know, like if you want to, you know, enjoy my pillowy soft curves and see a little wiggle jiggle, then I'm the girl for you. But if you want tight bod, blonde, you know, fake boobs, that's your style. Go find that. I'm not trying to
I'm
like
sitting here looking at your
anybody.
pictures right now. Yeah, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem.
Here's the thing. I one time, okay, my imperfections, I think, are what are endearing. I told this story on a live stream on Facebook. The replay is actually available if anybody ever wants to see it. But I had a date with a very distinguished gentleman at the Ritz-Carlton. We had, you know, a $400 steak dinner. We go back to the room, you know, champagne, like we're full on everything.
Yeah.
And one of his things, and I have clients that have a kink for feeding me. I was once booked in Vegas at a penthouse suite, sent the driver, and he was having fun behind me while I ate cheesecake with no hands. Okay, so like food play with me. I'm just saying. So this guy booked me, and he wanted to basically spoon feed me like a little bird. These nice little bits of dessert that he brought back to the room. And something made us both laugh at the same time. And my biggest mistake was I ate Brussels sprouts at dinner.
You was Putin.
I laughed and I pooted. And by then we're laughing even harder, so I pooted again. You cannot stuff toothpaste back in the tube. Once it's happened, like I was mortified, but I was also like, I guess I should have skipped the Brussels sprouts. Like, but he loved the realness of me. It was only supposed to be a dinner date that ended maybe around midnight. Oh no, not only did he extend and book me as an overnight, but he also flew to see me in another city, booked a threesome with a friend of mine, and then he has flown me to his city for a 4-day excursion. Like, it was because I was so honest and authentic and real and just normal, you know? And it was like that moment that what would have been a dinner date turned into multiple bookings and, you know, and travel and multi-day stuff, all because I just laughed at myself for being a human. So there you have it. Like for me, you see what you get what you see.
Yes.
I'm just me. And I'm a lot of fun.
Well, that's obvious because you got guys getting overnights. And people, you know, she got to come back, man. But see, you come back for the VIP smoke room though, because
Yes.
I know off of this alone, my premium smokers are definitely going to have questions to ask. And speaking about the premium smoke room, that's one of two ways for you to get wonderful extra content from the Smokers Lounge, from the Smoke This Over podcast network. I'm talking about none of where the conversation gets saucier. The tits pop out, dildos might pop out. You don't know what pop off unless you subscribe. I'm talking about the premium smoke room, people. 4 wonderful podcasts for you to enjoy. You can see her episode. You can see her episode right now in the premium smoke room as we speak. You feel me? Looking all sexy, showing off the titties and all that. Also, I got the VIP smoke room, which I opened up, and I even opened it up live on X. So you lovely followers as well as subscribers get to submit questions for these ladies to answer. But you have to follow me on Loyal Fans, and it has to be alive. Now, the VIP smoke room, that's for the subscribers to ask the questions. So if you want to ask the question VIP, you need to subscribe. And speaking about subscribing, don't forget, I also got a XXX side of my shit where you can see my work as I give ladies their work because big dicks grow in the sticks. That's why they call it big country. And also, you know, I got something on Spotify for you to subscribe to as well. 2 wonderful podcasts. Had to Smoke on it, where I give my unapologetic, unpopular opinions and takes on certain topics that go across the news or whatever I might feel like talk about in that episode, as well as the one place where the men of porn can get their say. I'm talking about Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talents and producers, and we give you that real smoke from a male's perspective about the porn business. So whether you need some premium smoke, you had the smoke on it, or you're looking for that Savage Smoke, either way, just subscribe to the smoke, people. Great content. Speaking about subscribing, Miss Lisa, can you tell them where they can spend money on you, baby?
Oh, well, just go to torreylisa.com and you're going to see all my socials and how to reach me and so on. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Keep it clean, keep it into the community standards rules, okay? But I'm on OnlyFans as Torrey Lisa XXX. And you can subscribe to me over there. You can see full-length videos and so on. I am available digitally and in person in many different ways. So torreylisa.com, TORREYLISA.com.
Well, people, what did you smoke over in this episode? What did you learn? I got to make this quick and sweet because I have another episode I had to record. You know, I stay recording. Yeah. So, people, part of my podcast is to show you the world of sex work, to educate you on it, to make you look at it and respect the ladies and gents that do this business, to kill some of the misconceptions that you have. To me, and I'll say it again, escorted prostitution should be legal. It's 2 grown-ass people deciding to do something, and one of them is paying for it. If you don't like it, go suck a dick. Even more so than that, it's a reason why escorts become great porn stars and porn stars become great escorts, because they mirror each other. Your job is to draw them in. You draw them in with your picture. You might draw them in with a video. But the key is once you get them in the room is to keep them in the room and keep them coming back. No different than keeping subscribers coming back. Plus also, believe it or not, meet and greets is a part of the brand. See, correct. Money is made from goods and services. Goods, content. That's the goods. Unless you got t-shirts and merch. And merch. You feel what I'm saying? That's the goods. That's the biggest good. It's the video. The subscriptions. Services. Webcam. Meet and greet. Custom videos. You feel what I'm saying? And it's crazy because when I came in the game, girls only really had escorting other than webcam. And a lot of girls didn't want a webcam, and still to this day, you want to know why? Actually, if you notice, have you ever seen Chatterbait ever say they doing a site-wide 50% sale off of anything? You want to know why? Because they get majority of the money.
Right.
But see, the beauty of the meet and greet is, one, you build fans. You build a base. If you think some of these girls that y'all watch, they're on OnlyFans, IG, they ain't seeing people, think again. The point being is, it's a part of being in this world. Because at the end of the day, when they see you, they're not there to get an autograph. They might get one, but nah, they want to autograph you, all right. They want to paint your face. Because you're a porn star. I'm sorry. You say what?
They want personalized attention.
Yes.
They want one-on-one access to you.
They want what they see in that video, that fantasy that they see in their head, to come to reality, and they finally get with you. So what
they already have the receipts when they've watched the video.
Say no more. And see, what I want y'all to learn from this is that part of the game should not be shunned, should not be looked at sideways. Actuality, it is part of being a porn star. That's why I get it. It ain't for everybody. But did you understand that you also control how they see you, when they see you, where they see you, and what they do with you? See?
And
go ahead.
And a lot of content creators and performers and so on will give you personalized attention digitally. And that is as far as they will go. Always respect that.
Yeah.
You know, always respect whatever the end of the line is. Okay. You don't want to be that creepy dude who just won't take no for an answer. Yeah. But for those that do, in my case, I was in porn for a while before I even entertained the idea of ever doing full service sex work. And I did it in a specific career path. I was very strategic with it. Some girls get into one first and then go to the other, and vice versa, and so on. My particular career path has been a wonderful trajectory for me, and it works for me. And I love being able to create, and I love being able to, have moments with my fans. And I like making new friends wherever I go.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, and too, also, I don't want to forget, not every session is a full service.
Right. Exactly. It's the connection. It's not the physical intimacy. It's the intellectual intimacy in many ways. I've had men pay me just to have conversations and not go anything spicy at all. I gave some examples just in this session today, just in our discussion today. Companionship is really, really, really important for every human being. You look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, intimacy is the only thing that is listed twice. You need it to survive and to thrive. And having human connections is really important. And that's what I'm there for. We can connect online or we can connect in real life.
Yes. So people, I got to shut it down. I hope y'all learned what y'all need to learn from this and get what you got from it. And also, don't forget, check out Pro Wrestling Smoke on Mondays or Tuesdays whenever I get around to dropping them. I get that real Pro Wrestling Smoke. So now with that being said, how we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Torrey Lisa, please say goodbye to my smokers again.
Bye, darlings. I can't wait to see you the next time. And we'll be kicked out on that one.
And she's going to be more revealing. So, see you on the other side, mama. We out.
All right.
I hope you loved out. So.
Don't go to bed with no price on your head. No.
Yeah. Bull City. You.
Don't do the crime.
Born rap star.
Can't do the time.
What's up? It's your boy Drizzy Drake, and you are now rocking with Kane.
Live on the stage, back on my shit. Now I'm beating dick to a going big. Back on my rap shit, no cap shit. Can't say shit. Just trying to be hooked, but not dead, you think. Your boys can't watch from the sideline. As I get mine like a rip tide. Don't get carried by the rock side. As I try to get my broke pants like apartheid. South Africa. Top spot, I'm coming after your laughter. For the boys who thought it was safe after I left the game. Now I'm back at the game. Ain't a damn thing changed. Still the same. The only thing that changed, I got some gray in my mane. I'm still the champ. I'm still the shit. Y'all just the shit. Not even worth a comment. Don't go to bed with no price on your head, no.
What's up? It's your boy Drizzy Drake, and you are now rocking with Kane.
Yeah.